Welcome back, subscribers, and welcome new viewers. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed, who like and share my videos, because that helps my whole channel to circulate out to more and more individuals just like you who need this information. And I also want to let you know that I have finished my very first book, and I'm working on the publishing part of it. And all of you who would like to and can support this part, the publishing part of, so I can get this book out to all of you as quickly as I possibly can, anything, any amount of donations, I would absolutely appreciate, and I always appreciate, and I'm very thankful for. But now, and today is the June 16th, 2022. So if you're watching this in this current time and you are feeling drawn to donate to my channel, it's going to go towards the publishing of this book. And my title is My Life Journey and True Ancient Astrology. So I thank all of you ahead of time who are able and choosing to support me and this channel and this book getting out for all of you. So thank you. And I also want to thank Samuel for making this video possible, because he had me do his natal wheel interpretation, a written interpretation. And so this is going to be from my PLUTO book, and this helps not only him but all of you who have and this is transiting Pluto, and currently right now, again, June 16th, 2022, and it has been in Capricorn, and it is in Capricorn still, 28 degrees. It is retrograde right now, and by the end of this month of June, we'll go 27 degrees. So again, this is about transiting Pluto, and it's transiting Pluto right now is in Capricorn, but this is going to be going through, so transiting Pluto through your natal fourth house, your natal wheel fourth house. So you can check and see, all of you, how or if transiting Pluto for you is going through, if it's going through your natal fourth house. Okay. The archetype or theme of this evolutionary process is to induce inner and outer circumstances wherein the individual will find it necessary to examine the basis of what constitutes his or her emotional securities, dependencies, self-image, feelings, and moods. And again, if you don't already know, Pluto is the natural planet for Scorpio, and Pluto has to do with death and rebirth and digging to the very root. And Pluto doesn't care about what it disrupts, how it disrupts. All it cares about is getting down to the root and bringing it up to each and every one of our conscious awareness so that it can be taken care of. And Pluto is very adamant about it being taken care of. It's ruthless. And those of you who are listening right now, you're going to understand that. Wherever your Pluto, wherever natal Pluto is, we all know about that as well. So again, this is transiting Pluto through your fourth house right now. Okay. In addition, this process will serve as an excellent time to examine the impact of the individual's early environmental situation as reflected through the parents. And for those who are parents, how they themselves have emotionally responded to their own children, family, and spouse. As a timing device via transits, progressions, and solar returns, this process promotes the ending of a chapter or cycle in the individual's life and the beginning of a new phase. It will now be necessary to change or eliminate all forms of emotional dependency and security that are linked to external situations. These dependencies and securities are in some way limiting further growth. So again, those of you that this is occurring for, you absolutely know and understand what this is saying. And so it will and is happening for you, but it's for your best interest. Pluto is in there so that you can once and for all get this out so that you can move forward and be who you truly are. This evolutionary time frame and experience can be very difficult because many people will feel as if the very foundations of their lives are being threatened and removed. Yes, and it's a major time and it is a long period because Pluto goes very, very slow through each house. And I don't recall exactly, I don't know if it's 18 years. I don't know if that's correct, or anyway, it's many years. So don't quote me on that. I should know that, but that has slipped my mind at the moment. So, but if you'd like to know, I will send me an email or a comment, and I will find that out exactly for you if you're interested. Okay. Such an experience must occur so that the individual is more or less left with only his or herself to look at, to examine, and to depend on. One's self-image is a reflection of the composite nature of one's total reality, inwardly and outwardly. When certain aspects or dynamics are removed or eliminated, the individual is forced not only to examine how the self-image has been conditioned and based on this fact, but also to now reformulate a new self-image that is based on necessary changes occurring within and outside the individual. Emotional upheavals will surge forth from the inner depths and will also be reflected in the outer environment through a variety of circumstances. These external causes or circumstances can range from problems associated with the personal living environment, family and parents, to job or career, and other closely associated people. The effect of these upheavals can be quite unsettling for the individual. Again, it's Pluto, so yes, it's not going to be fun. It's going to most likely be very painful. Unfortunately, well, fortunately or unfortunately, it's through those very, very difficult, painful experiences where we learn the most. So hang in there, those of you that are in this process right now. The evolutionary intent and reason for these inner and outer conditions is to force examination of how one has put life together and for what reasons. Within this intent, it is also necessary to examine the basis of emotional security and self-image relative to the nature of personal reality. Accordingly, it is now time to change old patterns of emotional response to oneself and others. In addition, it is now time to change or eliminate all sources of external dependencies relative to personal security at an emotional level. For some people, this process will be enforced through the loss of a job or career, a family member, or someone close to them. Emotional confrontations of an intense magnitude with family members, or even the loss of individual's own life. For some, the emotional fear of death may become a preoccupation. Others may experience a close call or brush with death. I'm also feeling drawn to say, for those of you in this right now, this transit, Pluto transit, transiting the fourth house, your fourth house, it feels to me that other aspects to your fourth house or to Pluto are essential for you to take a look at and be aware of at this time as well, because that is going to just be an extra added change or upheaval along with this one. Okay. This process allows for an emotional cleansing or healing through the release of old emotional patterns and attitudes that have built up for many lifetimes. And again, some of you are going to also, you possibly could be going through your Saturn return. And so that would be an added push for this extreme change at a very foundational level for you. And so it's going to be a very big deal and very emotionally trying and traumatic. Hang in there. Hang in there. You can do this. You are doing it, and you will succeed. You will. Okay. And if I can be of any assistance, if you would like me to take a look at your natal wheel, if you would like me to do a natal interpretation, written interpretation for you at this time, so I can give you some more insight on possibly other things that might be going on at the same time, or what you need to, or would be important for you to be aware of at this time, send me an email. Let me know and I'd be happy to do so. Or anything else, any other questions you have. Okay. Some of these patterns are also related to emotional needs or responses that have been stifled, denied, or buried for a long time. As these emotional patterns surge forth into the conscious awareness of the individual, the moods and feelings that are a reaction to these emotional winds can be extremely intense and quite compelling. Being drawn to say, sending you into stifling emotional responses like depression, even expressing, crying a lot, or even angry. Maybe these are in past emotions, or even passed down emotions that were passed down to you at birth from your someone in your lineage, because that is a fact that from Dr. Joe Dispenza, if any of you are interested in looking that up, who this comes from, what I'm going to say in a moment. Dr. Joe Dispenza, this is where I heard it from. During a mother's third trimester of pregnancy, she automatically downloads into her baby's brain trillions of bits of information, memory, that are not just from her life, but from her mother's life, her ancestral, and her ancestries, her familial grandparents, great-grandparents. So that could possibly be, and it would show in your natal wheel along with your mother's, father's, grandparents, however many natal wheels you desire or can get the information to so that you can check. For those of you that feel that that might be necessary or essential for you to do. And also I have to say, south nodes are also, that's another important familial memory program that is passed down when it's not able to be taken care of in parents, grandparents, whoever. Okay. So that's another essential area to look at as well. Each shifting and passing emotion will be capturing the total attention of the individual for its duration. So you will actually be going through different emotions and fully, completely. These emotions, moods, and feelings promote conscious awareness as to the nature of the individual's old unconscious and habitual ways of emotionally responding to life. But again, if you're not consciously aware of this, then that doesn't, now you are listening to this, so you are becoming consciously aware of this now. And if you've been researching the details of your different planets, your nodes of the moon, that's another conscious awareness, which you must bring all of that into your conscious awareness. So before you were able to know about this, you will be going through this to no avail. It could keep cycling in this for years and years. And for those of you who are in your second Saturn return, then absolutely you didn't know about this, or you would have been taking care of it in your first Saturn return. So now you're having to take care of those past things that weren't able to be taken care of in your first Saturn return. So definitely memories of what happened to you around that time in your life, 28 to 31 years of age, and or past, your parents, your grandparents, any and all of that as well. Okay. Such absorption must occur because it serves as the vehicle through which the individual can totally examine the basis, causes, and reasons for his or her emotional responses, needs, demands, security equations, self-image, and the impact of the early environment. The conscious awareness and knowledge that this examination induces can lead the individual into the experience of emotional and personal stagnation. The sense of stagnation is necessary. Did you hear that? It's necessary. However, for it promotes the opportunity to change. So those feelings that are coming out and are being expressed by you is necessary. It stops you. It's a force. Pluto is a force that stops you and forces you to, you can't go beyond it. So that you have to dig deep and find out where these emotions are coming from. That's the positive part. And that's now, if you're listening, you are listening to this, now you know, and now you can start doing that. If you haven't started already, maybe this is just a confirmation. The conscious awareness and knowledge that this examination induces can lead the individual into the experience of emotional and personal stagnation. The sense of stagnation is necessary. However, for it promotes the opportunity to change. Family members or others close to the individual may also experience these same conditions in their own lives because you're connected. Your family, you're connected. So if you're going through something, you're also enabling other parts of your family members to go through the same thing. Possibly. The unresolved things that have been passed down in your familial lineage, especially. And so you could be getting flack because of that from certain family members who are not liking this. And so they're trying to get you to stop in all kinds of ways. I do understand that. On an experiential level, I do. So keep going. You're doing the right thing, not just for yourself, but for them as well, even though it doesn't feel like it. And it certainly doesn't feel like it for them. Unresolved emotional issues associated with prior life causes. Did you hear that? Let me read that again. Unresolved emotional issues associated with prior life causes or conditions can now surface between the individual and those in close relationship. There you have it. Okay. The behavior associated with these old, unresolved emotional issues can be quite irrational and combustive. Let me read that again. The behavior associated with these old, unresolved emotional issues can be quite irrational and combustive. On the one hand, this can be an excellent time to resolve whatever those issues are about. And on the other, it can promote a termination of the relationship if the individuals find it too difficult to work through and resolve those issues. But now at least you, viewer, know. Any of you who this is happening to you, or it's already where you've had to dissolve any relationships, walk away from anything because you couldn't compromise, you couldn't work through it together, this is why. And maybe some of you, at least you right now, know this and know why. And that you had no other choice. And for whatever reason, the other person involved, whoever it is, they couldn't do it at that point. Or maybe it just wasn't, they weren't able to at this time in their life, or maybe they will never be able to. But you are doing it. You are able, and you keep going, because maybe at some point you will be able to assist that other person at whether it is having them watch this video, sending them a copy of this written part of this video, or whatever it is, whenever it is, assist that other person that wasn't able to. But you've stopped the pattern, or you are stopping the pattern that has been passed down to you. If you continue and are able to continue step by step, which I know you are, you will stop this pattern from being passed down any longer. And don't feel bad if you have kids already. That's all right. If you have any other children or that, you can at least teach this to your child, your children. See if they have something, no doubt, astrologically in their natal wheel passed down from you. And then you can share this with them. Okay. Okay, let me find where I was at now. Let's see here. On the one hand, this can be an excellent time to resolve whatever those issues are about, and on the other, It can promote a termination of the relationship if the individuals find it too difficult to work through and resolve those issues. In either case, new emotional patterns, self-knowledge, and necessary change will occur. During this process, the individual should be encouraged to reflect upon the past with conscious intent. This is what you can do now. In other words, to reflect upon all events, situations, and circumstances in the life to date, and to examine the inner dynamics or causes that necessitated or created those conditions. This is what you are to do now. In this way, the individual can become more aware of his or her inner nature and structure. This process of active reflection should also be linked with active communication or processing. This cyclic or rhythmic need to release or communicate that which is being discovered from within is necessary because it will allow for the essential purging or cleansing of the emotional structure. In other words, a danger exists wherein the individual can emotionally implode and distort if he or she remains in a withdrawn or reflective state. So you listening to this now, it's imperative. It's imperative. You are doing an awesome thing. Listen to it as many times as you feel necessary to do so for yourself. Again, get written copy of this so you can read it and reread it. This will assist you in not staying in that depressive mode, those feelings longer than necessary. Okay. This process requires at least one other person in the immediate environment whom the individual can trust and who is mature enough to allow this process to occur without feeling threatened or blown away by it. To be present. So you must be listened to. Now, those of you that don't have anyone that you can do this with, if you feel it's right and you want to, I am here. I am here to listen. Send me an email and I will absolutely read it and respond. Okay. And assist you in any way I possibly can. Okay. The issue of whom to trust can be very difficult because many of these individuals will not even be able to trust themselves in terms of what they are feeling or needing. Put it down on paper. Even if you don't feel comfortable enough to send it to me, write it down on paper. All of your feelings, all of whatever's coming into your head, the different situations. Do that. And that will get it out, at least get it out in writing and assist you if you don't have anyone else or don't have anyone and you don't feel comfortable, which I understand. It's all right if you don't feel comfortable speaking with me. That's perfectly all right. You have to feel comfortable. It's about getting it out of you so that you don't have to sit in that anymore. And that will assist you in concluding and seeing the positive, what came out of the whole emotional situation, experience, past experiences, and help you to put it together for yourself so you can move forward and take the positive, take what you gained from it, because there is something. Some will feel intensely vulnerable and super sensitive during this process. These emotional needs at times can be very similar to the needs of a child, no matter how old the person may be. That's okay. Don't feel bad. Since the intent of this process is to learn inner security and to minimize external dependencies, those in the individual's environment who are trying to help should gently promote this understanding. Physical problems that can manifest during this process will be associated with the lymphatic system. I'm getting some of you might have a clogged lymphatic system. Stomach, so intestinal, digestional problems. I just got, if this is right for you, and I'm not a doctor or anything like that, you use your own discernment, but I'm seeing that possibly, ultimately this, working through this, but to assist you while you're working through this, digestive enzymes, and also take care of your diet. No sugar, fast food, no. Do the best you can to do fresh. If you have a garden, that's even better. But organic, fresh, and of course, organic you have to watch out for too. But fresh fruits and vegetables, and organic meat, organic free-range, grass-fed meat. Okay. If that sounds right for you, some of you are probably already doing that. Mammary glands, eyes, mucus or water retention, toxicity buildup in the mucus, and constipation. It's digestive again, because you're all tight, of course, as well as problems associated with the medulla chakra. Medulla chakra. Right now, I'm not sure. Maybe some of you, if you know what the medulla chakra is, medulla, I've never heard that. I don't recall which one that is. For some reason, it has to do with the head. I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. That's just what's coming to me. I don't know if that's correct or not. If any of you know, let me know what that is, which chakra. In general, then, this evolutionary process promotes a total rebirth or metamorphosis of the inner emotional structure and self-image of the individual. By eliminating and changing all the old emotional patterns and minimizing external dependencies, a new person is born. That's where you're going. Brand new, transforming your own self, finishing your own creation. As I say with our nodes of the moon, that is exactly, and it sounds like this has everything to do with, part of this is your nodes of the moon, knowing that consciously. A new chapter is beginning in the individual's life. Wow. Okay. Well, that's all I have for you. Any of you who would like a written copy, please let me know. Send me an email, and I will return an email to you. Okay. Until next time. Bye. Until next time. Okay.